Namaste, Suswagatam, and welcome to our Sunday edition of Words of Wisdom Gyan Ganga on our Virat Hindustan Sangam various social media channels. We have another interesting day, and today we will be discussing: has the Kashmir terror attack exposed Prime Minister Modi's failure as a leader? And the next 30 to 45 minutes, we will be discussing this topic with Dr. Subramaniam Swamy. I thank our viewers across the globe for their support week after week we have been getting all across the globe. And we request you to either subscribe and like our channel on YouTube and other social media platforms. So without much time, we will first we have started a series on various freedom fighters and unwritten stories of Indian history. Today we have such a brave Meghalaya freedom fighter, Mr. Nangbah. We will have a short video on him.
Kiang Nangbah was a freedom fighter from the Jantia Hills of Meghalaya. He was born in the early 19th century in the village of Tpepel. In 1835, the British annexed the Jantia kingdom. They introduced taxes, interfered with local customs, and disrupted traditional practices. By 1860, house taxes and religious interference caused widespread unrest. A police station was built near a sacred cremation site, sparking anger. Kiang Nangbah emerged as a leader and organized a revolt. In 1862, he led attacks against British officials and outposts. His movement gained support from various villages in the region. The British responded with military force to suppress the rebellion. Nangbah was captured on 27 December 1862. He was executed by hanging on 30 December 1862 in public. Before his execution, he told people to observe the direction of his face. If it turns east, freedom will come within 100 years. Witnesses said his face turned east. Exactly 100 years later, India gained independence in 1947. In 2001, the Government of India released a stamp in his honor. A memorial stands at Mantadu, near Jovai, remembering his sacrifice. Kiang Nangbah is remembered as a symbol of resistance in Meghalaya. His legacy continues to inspire generations.
We at Virat Hindustan Sangam pay our tributes to this great freedom fighter, Nangbah. With these slides, now we will go over to Dr. Subramaniam Swamy to initiate today's discussion on the Kashmir terror attack and the failure of Modi's leadership. Over to Dr. Swamy.
Thank you. Thank you, Jagdish. A very, very sad situation for us that in this, after all these years of building our military and beating Pakistan 4 times earlier, we again have to be seen as a country which is only capable of fighting Pakistan. What is more interesting is, and what is most shocking is, that in Palgam, what you witnessed was that there was no police anywhere around. There was nobody around there, and the tourists were allowed to come. And some of them were married only recently. One of the ladies who's become a widow, she's only been married 7 days. And a bunch of 25 people come. or 6 or 7 of them come for the 26 people who came from for tourism. And then they singled out in the front of the wives of each case and making sure that they are Hindus, they kill them on the spot in front of the eyes of their wives. Has anybody given solace to these wives? Has the Prime Minister visited any of them? He was ready to visit Bihar to address a public meeting, but he didn't have time to go and visit the houses of these people. So we seem to have lost our sense of respect for ourselves and the ability to tell anybody who attacks us that we can finish you if in case you attack us. Instead of that, for I think now about 7 days, all we have been doing is having meetings, and that's all the television shows. They're sitting around a round table with the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister is God knows what he's telling them. And what is there to discuss? The fact is that Pakistan has to be dealt with by military action. Now, if you're scared that the Chinese will start with Pakistan, I can tell you that the Chinese will have a hell of a time helping Pakistan in that terrain. I mean, they have a problem even coming down the Aksai Chin. They have a problem coming down in the mountains of our northeast. And you think the Chinese will come and be able to fight us and help Pakistan? But we have got scared by that itself. That's how I'm interpreting that Mr. Modi has got scared. And he has always been scared about China. When I first said that the Chinese have come and occupied 4,064 square kilometers of undisputed Ladakh territory, which belongs to India, which China has never laid a claim to. And Xi Jinping, the president of China, then sends his forces, and I bring it to the notice of the country, and I put it out in Parliament when I was there, and all that I got is that koi aaya nahi, koi gaya nahi. What do you mean, koi aaya nahi gaya? Then why did you have this new treaty where you have accepted everything that China has wanted? And that treaty, by the way, has not been published. I cannot get a copy of it. No members of Parliament have got a copy of it. And so in this situation, what we are seeing is that does Mr. Modi want to govern this country by protecting it, or does he want just the gala opportunities that he gets, going here and going there, giving speeches? I mean, he comes around from Saudi Arabia after when he hears that this has happened, and he goes straight to and give a public meeting, address a public meeting of an election. I mean, preparation for an election. I don't understand. He should have been in Delhi and had a meeting if necessary. But why does he have to go for a political matter which has got nothing to do with what has happened? So let me start by saying that we have not put the fear of God into the Pakistanis, and the Pakistanis are preparing. Every day they are bombing here and there. They are catching 1 or 2 people of our Jawans by crossing into our territory, and there is no response. All that we see on television is the roundtable meeting of Mr. Modi in Modi's house with the Mr. Y, Mr. X, then Mr. Y, and then rotating around. That's what we are seeing. So the country is in a state of anger, and therefore we must now address this issue, even if Mr. Modi is not able to address the issue. The people in public affairs, they all should come out and explain to the public that what needs to be done, what can be done, and also why it is not being done. So I begin with that. I would like to say that some people have asked me that what about the J&K government of Abdullah? Well, first of all, that is not a full-fledged government. That is a government just by election they have come, but it is still controlled on all the main issues by the center. And so it is the governor who is there, as well as Mr. Amit Shah. These are the people who are responsible. Amit Shah has to answer why there was not a single policeman in that beautiful area or Belgaum. Why is it that these people came and they were totally defenseless? Not anybody. Even after they went on killing turn by turn, no policeman should come. I would say that today, more than teaching Pakistan a lesson, we should get the resignation of Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah, because they are unfit to protect this country, and it's been demonstrated in the case of China, and they have also demonstrated now in the case of Pakistan. I don't think you have to worry if the Chinese join with Pakistan. The Chinese have to come from all that way to Aksai Chin and then go into helping Pakistan. Where can the Chinese protect themselves even in where the Sikkim border is? They'll get a thrashing from the Indian soldiers there. Have you ever given a chance after the 1967 period, ever given a chance to the Indian troops to say that 1962 cannot be repeated and this is the latest position? We didn't do it. And I am saying that there has been a continuous disregard for the security of this country. You saw what about China? And then China, when I said that the Chinese have come and occupied 4,000 square kilometers of Indian territory, undisputed territory, Modi's first reaction, as I said already, that koi aaya nahi, koi gaya nahi. After that, they have quietly sat down and passed a new agreement in which the Chinese have got everything they wanted. I wanted a copy of it, they was not able to get it. So you already surrendered to the Chinese without even, and giving away Ladakh territory without even hesitating for a moment. And keeping the Indian people in the dark. You haven't got the support of the Indian people in doing this. Now, the same thing here. How many? I think 8 days have passed now, or 9 days have been passed. What is that in this matter? They come and kill 26 people in front of their wives. And then all you're doing is considering this or sending somebody to America to talk. Nobody is going to come unless you start fighting yourself. And therefore, I would like to say that the first thing I would like to ask is Mr. Modi, that the country has a right to ask Mr. Modi, what are you planning to do? I will tell you one thing. Excuse me. Our idea is not to teach Pakistan a lesson. Our idea should be to break up Pakistan. We have broken it up once. Doesn't matter that the present Bangladesh is not acting well with us. So what? When it was united Pakistan, then they were acting even worse. Let them go, shout, scream. And of course, if they touch any Hindu and kill them, then our army should immediately go. That's an agreement that we reached with the new government that came into power after removing Pakistan from there. Now we have to do is Baluchistan and then the two others, states which are there, and those three states. Pakistan consists now of only 4 states, and one is on the border with of India, and the 3 others are one beginning from Iran. It comes down from Baluchistan, and then the other 2, and these 3 all want independence from Pakistan. Baluchistan has actually sent people to Delhi, to Mr. Modi, saying that we have no faith in Congress, so we never came for them. But I want to know whether whether our people are ready now to back these Baluchistan people, poor cheap people. They are Shias, they're not even Sunnis. And so the Sunnis, they are very narrow-minded people in these matters. They were fanatic people, and they have been killing them on a regular basis. So India's job today is the best revenge you can get is by eliminating the concept of Pakistan. We broke Pakistan into two. Now we must break it into four, and that should be the goal. Not that we had a meeting and one constable of Pakistan has been killed. These are not a retaliation. That is only like some kabaddi that we are playing with Pakistan. Pakistan will continue to exist as they are. Break Pakistan into three different states and leave Punjab to be the only part of Pakistan that stays with them, and that would be strategically the best thing that we can do. And I'm ready to give a whole thesis on how this can be done, and it has been done by our own military people. But Modi has no time to read that, and he has no strategic concept at all, and he's been too long in power. He must go, he must resign, and with him, Mr. Amit Shah. What was he doing when it was a whole responsibility for that area was on his head, not on Abdullah? It was his duty to have kept forces there to see that our Indians who come from different parts of the country, they are protected by our soldiers. But he didn't do that. So Amit Shah must resign and go, and so must Mr. Modi, because Modi has no intention of fighting this, because he is afraid of the complicity that he has had in the past with China and with Pakistan, and he is afraid that all this will may all spill out, and that will create problems for it. We are not concerned with that. We are concerned with whether a person of whatever moral status he has, is he ready to fight? Is he ready to go and restore India's glory, not by just nitpicking? It's not a kabaddi thing that we have to have with Pakistan. We must break up Pakistan. Like last time it broke into two, this time it must break into four. That is the only way we can ensure that our strategic security would be taken care of. These words, Jagdish, please take over and let's see what my colleagues say, then we can have a debate.
Dr. Swami, why you think this government today, because everybody, all the unbucks and gunbucks will try to teach us patriotism, but when another government was in power, we have so many videos of Modi saying that the government should be decisive and all those type of things. What is the real reason Modi is unable to act and take proper measures to teach Pakistan a lesson?
I think it's first of all he's frightened of these Chinese, not so much at what the Chinese militarily can do, but what else Chinese know about him. Because for the 10 years, for the years, 7-8 years that he was chief minister, he went 10 times to China. And Jaishankar was the ambassador. Now, what is there for going 10 times? Jagdish, you came, I think, in one of my trips for Kailash Mansarovar. We went for a specific project. We didn't hang around there. What did Mr. Modi do in these 10 visits to China? If I tell you, you will all blush. So I'm not going to tell you. I'm only going to say that Modi is afraid of the Chinese. And there must be some thing by which the Chinese have a hold. Otherwise, how would you say, koi aaya hi nahi, koi gaya hi nahi, when it was a falsehood, and then hand over a huge chunk of our undisputed territory in Ladakh to the Chinese by a new agreement. and which new agreement is not placed before Parliament. His new agreement is not given to anybody. I asked Rajnarayan to give me a copy. He said, "I'm sorry, I'm constrained from not giving it to you." So it is not in Parliament. It is not given to people who have been members of Parliament, who have been ministers like myself. And then what is this agreement about? Why did you have this agreement? Because the Chinese insisted on this agreement, and they have got whatever they wanted. And from Dipsang to Azad Kashmir is so easy for the Chinese, thanks to what Mr. Modi has done for them. So all these things put together, it's a very sad. Mr. Modi himself should realize that he could end up with a treason case unless he quits now and expresses sorrow that he was unable to protect India and go away to Himalayas or wherever he wants to go. But we, I think, cannot fight the forces against India unless we have a totally different approach to the issue of Pakistan. And that issue is something that only somebody else can do, not Mr. Modi.
Dr. Swami, before I hand over the thing to Arvind Chaturvedi and Ramesh Swami, I just want to tell our viewers that this is a very standard practice by the unbuck, gun bucks, and including the Modi administration. When we hold Modi and Shah responsible and ask them to resign, they will say, if they resign, the Congress will come, or Pappu or Buddu will come as PM. But they don't realize what we are saying is that Modi should make way for a more dynamic BJP leader to take over as Prime Minister and maybe somebody as the Home Minister, because these two people are becoming complacent. But the standard operating practice of these andbucks and gunbucks is when we say Modi should be out and the Home Minister should be out, they will show us a ghost. Oh, do you want then Rahul Gandhi, or do you want some congressman to be? No. The question is very clear. If our leader has failed to deliver, there are other dozens of competent leaders in the BJP who can deliver. So on this, Dr. Swami, can you make a comment? Because this is the standard operating.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll make a very well taken point, Jagdish. I'll make one comment. I have had sent to Mr. At that time the Home Minister was Rajnath, a set of documents which was, immense. The documents which I think normally cannot anybody get. But I had Ramesh Swami with me in the United States, and I don't know what strings he pulled, and he was able to give me all the documents I asked for. And that documents show that Rahul Gandhi in 2003 became a citizen of Britain. And our constitution says, Article 9 says, and our law also says that an Indian cannot become a citizen of any other country because we don't have dual citizenship. So he should go. Mr. Modi has completely ignored it. Rajnath was transferred from Home Ministry, which was his favorite ministry, to Defense. And Defense, you see, is more or less the generals and the Prime Minister more than the as a Minister of Defense. And so, therefore, you can see from that he has been compromised in some way. And we are not interested in going to what the compromise is. And certainly it's not an issue, but it can be evaluated by some of the senior people if they call for the right records. But Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah, they cannot protect this country. And they think that by bullying, they can make everybody silent. But I think if you want India to survive and not break up, then I think the best thing to do is start with getting a new leadership from within the BJP.
Thank you, Dr. Swami. Arvind, आपका अगला सवाल.
Yeah, thank you, Jagdish. Dr. Swami has summarized the whole issue. पूरे देश में, पूरे हिंदुस्तान में हमारी आंखें लगी हुई हैं, हमारे कान लगे हुए हैं ये सुनने के लिए कि भारत सरकार क्या निर्णय लेती है। 22 तारीख को जब से ये हादसा हुआ, हमारी सरकार ने ये घोषणा कर दी कि हम सिंधु नदी का जो समझौता है उस पर हम रोक लगा देंगे, वीसा रोक देंगे, सीमाएं बंद कर देंगे, अटारी बॉर्डर बंद कर देंगे। बहुत अच्छी बात है, हम सरकार के साथ हैं। लेकिन ग्राउंड पे अभी तक क्या हुआ है ये समझ में नहीं आया। जहां तक पाकिस्तान का सवाल है, पाकिस्तान जैसे कुत्ते की दुम होती है, जो 12 साल भी जमीन में दबा दो तभी वो टेढ़ी की टेढ़ी निकलेगी। पाकिस्तान को हमने पिछले 75 साल में देखा है। हमने टिक्का खान को देखा, अयूब खान को देखा, याहिया खान को देखा, जियाउल हक को देखा, परवेज मुशर्रफ, नवाज शरीफ से लेके शहबाज शरीफ तक, इमरान। कोई भी पाकिस्तान का नेता कभी भी भारत के लिए अपने दिल में सॉफ्ट कॉर्नर नहीं रख सकता। पाकिस्तान का वजूद इसी बात पे है कि वो हिंदुस्तान की मुखालफत करते रहेंगे जिंदगी भर। और इसीलिए जो आपने डॉक्टर स्वामी कहा कि जब तक हम ये डिसाइड नहीं करेंगे, जब तक ये फैसला आखिरी पायदान तक नहीं ले जाएंगे कि पाकिस्तान को नेस्त नाबूद करना है, पाकिस्तान को एक बार सबक सिखाना है, दुनिया के नक्शे से पाकिस्तान का नाम मिटा देना है। पाकिस्तान को खैबर पख्तूनवा, बलूचिस्तान, गिलगिट बाल्टिस्तान, ये 3 जगह निकाल के जो पाकिस्तान बचेगा उस पाकिस्तान की कमर वैसे ही टूट जाएगी। लेकिन ये फैसला करने के लिए शेर का कलेजा चाहिए। शेर का कलेजा हर नेता में नहीं होता। डॉक्टर स्वामी, आप किसी तरह इस सरकार को मजबूर करिए। और जो लोग इस राय के हैं कि जब तक हम पाकिस्तान को सबक नहीं सिखाएंगे, पाकिस्तान हमारे लिए ता जिंदगी मुसीबत बना रहेगा। उस मुसीबत को, जब शरीर के अंदर कोई नासूर हो जाता है और नासूर हमेशा रिश्ता रहता है, दर्द करता रहता है, तो ऑपरेशन करना ही एक अकेला उपाय रह जाता है। पाकिस्तान हमारे लिए एक नासूर है और जब तक ये नासूर बाकी है तब तक कुछ नहीं होगा। भारत सरकार के हम हर उस कदम का समर्थन करेंगे जो पाकिस्तान जैसे नासूर को हमेशा के लिए नेस्त नाबूद कर दे। मेरा कहना यह है डॉक्टर स्वामी कि पिछले 12 दिन निकल गए, लगभग 300 घंटे निकल गए जो पहलगाम में हादसा हुआ उसको बाद, और हम हर घंटे इंतजार कर रहे हैं कि कुछ ना होगा, कुछ ना होगा। और लोग ये कह रहे हैं कुछ बड़ा होने वाला है, कुछ बड़ा होने वाला है, कुछ बड़ा होने वाला है। लेकिन खोदा पहाड़ और निकली चोहिया, एक अनाउंसमेंट ये आ गया कि भारत सरकार 2031 में जब जनगणना कराएगी तो उसमें जातीय जनगणना को जोड़ दिया जाएगा। हम इसके इंतजार नहीं कर रहे थे। ये हो सकता है बड़ा फैसला बीजेपी के लिए हो, लेकिन हमारे लिए बड़ा फैसला, हम बड़ा फैसला पाकिस्तान के ऊपर एक निर्णायक पहल की बात कर रहे हैं। जब तक निर्णायक पहल नहीं होगी, पाकिस्तान को चीन से बात करने का मौका मिल गया, टर्की ने उनको हथियार देना घोषणा कर दी, अमेरिका ने कह दिया कि पाकिस्तान हमारा दोस्त है, भारत भी हमारा दोस्त है, लेकिन पाकिस्तान को ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए। अब पाकिस्तान अमेरिका के आगे नाक रगड़ रहा है कि हमें बचाओ, हमें बचाओ। हमें उनको ये मौका नहीं देना चाहिए था। 2 दिन के अंदर 24 अप्रैल 25 अप्रैल तक हमें ये एक फैसला कर लेना चाहिए था। हमने वाकई बहुत ज्यादा समय दे दिया है। मैं डॉक्टर स्वामी एक सवाल आपसे पूछता हूं बिफोर रमेश स्वामी एंटर्स, कि आज की आपने बताया कि चाइना के लिए जो टेरेन है बहुत डिफिकल्ट है, चाइना बचाव करने के लिए पाकिस्तान का नहीं आ सकता क्योंकि उनको अक्साई चीन जाके दूसरा करके बहुत मुश्किल पड़ेगी उनका समर्थन करने के लिए। लेकिन यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका और रशिया का क्या रुख होने वाला है, सवाल नंबर 1। तो सवाल नंबर 2, क्या किसी भी गिरी हालत में पाकिस्तान न्यूक्लियर पावर का इस्तेमाल कर सकता है?
देखिए, हम इस पर न्यूक्लियर की जो लोग बात करते रहते हैं, पाकिस्तान के पास क्या न्यूक्लियर है? ये कौन सा ऐसी मशीन है जो अमेरिका, चाइना और यूरोप के सब ने नज़र रखी है, जैसे उन्होंने ईरान के ऊपर रखी है कि ये यूज़ करेंगे कि नहीं। अभी इजराइल ने जब ईरान पर आक्रमण किया, सबने कहा कि एटम बम डाल देंगे, बट नहीं डाला, क्योंकि अमेरिका और उस समय रशिया ने भी, सबने कहा कि ये करोगे तो फिर हम तुम्हारे खिलाफ हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स जो है वो सिर्फ एक देश का नष्ट नहीं करता, वो अनेक करता है। इसलिए पाकिस्तान की ये है कि नहीं, या सिर्फ बनावटी है, या दिवाली की फुलझड़ी है, ये सब हम बाद में सोचेंगे। आज मैं कहता हूं कि हमें पाकिस्तान का 4 टुकड़ा करना है। 2 टुकड़ा कर दिया है, उस भले वो दूसरा टुकड़ा भी बकबक कर रही है, परंतु ज्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकती। इसी प्रकार से ये भी बकबक करे, कोई हर्जा नहीं, परंतु पाकिस्तान जो जो भी ऊर्जा है वो सारी खत्म हो जाएगी। मैं ये कहता हूं कि आज सिर्फ इतना है कि पाकिस्तान को लगता है कि हम जवाब नहीं दे सकें, क्योंकि मेरा जो जानकारी है, चाइना ने पाकिस्तान को कहा आराम से रहो, हमने उनको मैसेज भेज दिया मोदी को कि तुम कुछ करोगे तो फिर हम यहाँ शुरू करेंगे। ये ऐसी सी छोटी सी बात पर तुम युद्ध करने चाहते हो, हम तुम्हें सबक सिखाएंगे, ये असली बात है, उसीलिए वो डर रहा है। और ये मीटिंग वो मीटिंग, ये सारे मीटिंग की क्या जरूरत है? और ये जो लोग आए, इनके पास कोई सिक्योरिटी का, आई मीन हमारी कोई सिक्योरिटी नहीं था। इसका जिम्मेदारी अमित शाह की बनती है, क्योंकि जो आज की जो ढांचा बनी है कश्मीर में, उसमें इस प्रकार की सिक्योरिटी के लिए होम मिनिस्ट्री इन दिल्ली वही तय कर सकती है। तो किसी ने कोई कहे कि वहाँ सिक्योरिटी का लैप्स हुआ, तो जो अमित शाह है उनको उसमें पकड़ना चाहिए। Yes, Jagdish.
So, Dr. Swami, I just wanted to echo, as I said earlier before we began the program, the biggest blunder Modi did, in my thing, was he did not respond immediately. See, Modi lost the advantage. See, basically, when a terror attack like this happens, the first thing you do is you do something. Whether you kill a couple of goats or donkeys doesn't matter. Some action happens so that you take off a bunch of posts along the border. The world will support you, because the world's psychology is that 25 odd people have been killed. So India is reacting naturally to defend. So you can just say that we are chasing these fellows, or you knock some people off. And Modi instead is just doing social media saying, something big is going to happen. अब तांडव होगा, अब ये होगा, अब नाटक होगा। अभी सब पूरा नाटक ही हुआ डॉक्टर स्वामी, तांडव नहीं हुआ, खाली नाटक, full dramabazi. The height of it is he cut short his visit from Saudi Arabia as though that he is so concerned about the terror attack, comes to Delhi, creates a facade that he's having a meeting right at the airport, hopefully on the tarmac itself, but okay, did some office in the airport. Next day, jumps into an election rally. How insensitive can a prime minister be, Dr. Swami, that the next day this guy jumps on and goes on a plane and goes to Bihar and does a election rally? As you said at opening, he did not visit a single family. We don't know behind the scenes if he called or not. We don't know, because none of the news has come out that he has spoken to even one member of the family that got killed in this process. He has not put out even a single statement, in the sense in public. He has not come out and said anything about this. Just issue press statements. Or in that monkey bath, he just said something or the other. But at the end of the day, he is not, sorry, a monkey bath. So, sorry, it was a slip of the tongue. So what happened was, he has not done what was necessary. So what happened in the process? China is jumping, saying, "Oh, we will support. We in Pakistan and we are very close." So what? Is India a bigger trade partner of China or Pakistan? Pakistan is pittance. They are poor. They're a completely bankrupt country. Do you think if you go to China and say, "Fine, we will stop trade with you," do you think China is going to go and say, I'm going to support Pakistan"? Very simple fact. China, he's saber rattling, Dr. And they know Modi is an incompetent coward. They know they can play with Modi That's what they're doing. China is very sensible that way. You go talk to them about numbers and money, they will come back to you. You just the first day if you had attacked Pakistan, one day within 24 hours, China would have not said anything. That, I think, Dr. Swami, is that a clear show? Because our question today is, Dr. Swami, has this terror attack exposed the Modi's failure? So that is the biggest question that we have, Tommy. And facts are out there, and even there is a report out. I mean, Tejas wants to say something. Tejas, you can come back later and just say he wants to share some very important information that how this government did completely ignored certain things. But do you think, Dr. Swami, out of all of this, Modi should be still continue as the Prime Minister of the country?
In my opinion, even before this thing erupted by Pakistan, it had been internally decided, although it was not formally announced, that he will step down sometime this summer. So there's no shock in his leaving the prime ministership and going away. It is there have been discussions at the level where Modi has to listen. After all, he is a pracharak, and he cannot deny that. If he was not a pracharak, he wouldn't have been chief minister. So therefore, in that circumstances in which he is bound by duty, it has already been conveyed to him even before this happened that he has to step down and give and move on. Therefore, I think now those who want him to leave his position of prime ministership, they have got another weapon by which they can make him go, saying that you have been incompetent, you have given away our land to China, and you have allowed Pakistan to make so many of our innocent women widows, and you have not been able to retaliate. So you can't protect the country, you better go. That's what they should tell him.
Tejas, you had a question?
Yeah, so this is a article actually which shows that intelligence had actually warned of an attack on tourists.
Yes.
By the time when Prime Minister was about to visit the same place. So when
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. So when in Jammu Kashmir, it was already known that such thing, and it was also told that the security should be increased where the tourist location is there near Srinagar. So this is the reported article. When this was already known, why did the Prime Minister neglect this and instead allowed this thing to happen? Because the army officials told that they were never briefed, but it is clearly shown here that the intelligence had informed them. So was it done purposely? The Prime Minister cancelled his visit, which was a planned visit, but allowed the tourists to go to that tourist locations, because then in that case it will help him make his position strong to stay as a prime minister. So this is a serious slap if intelligence had warned, but still the government ignored the inputs of intelligence.
Yes, very good. I know about this this newspaper cutting also. I didn't think that it was even graceful to say we didn't get intel from the military. I mean, you're the prime minister. How can you on a daily basis, you're meeting the commander-in-chief of the Indian Army or Air Force and Navy, and you mean to say that they never told you? How can anybody believe that? And this newspaper article clearly shows, without saying, that these people had told Modi at least a week before he left for Saudi Arabia that there is something cooking, and please see that innocent people who have come as tourists, they don't suffer for this. It's very tragic, and it's heart-rending to see these women who have to see their husbands being shot after their pants were taken off, and they had made the necessary investigation, these rascals who came, and then they have disappeared. Not even one has been caught. Why don't you catch 25 people of the Pakistan ruling party and bump them off also as a retaliation, unless they hand over these guys who came to across to Pathankot, or excuse me, to Pathankot, to that area. And why don't they we put blackmail them into sending them to us so that we can hang them in public? And nothing, just meetings of what? The same people he meets, he has been meeting before, he's meeting again. Has anything been come out? Has any document been put to the public to say that these are the steps we are going to take until we vindicate what happened to our people? No, nothing. And there is today, and now he has gone to Kerala, and I don't know what he has opened there. Something he has opened there. Is Kerala so important for him? Is not even party, is not even power there. And I'm sure he's going other places also. He'll be touring, which has got nothing to do with what happened in Kashmir.
Dr. Swami, the heights of it, Dr. Swami, as you said, not even a single visit to the people. Even now, I mean, instead of visiting Kerala, why can't the Prime Minister bring all the families together to his residence and just say that he is sorry, that under his leadership, this has happened. He is going to take action on it. At least say something. But every day, running between the media is showing that during midnight, Modi is going to JP Nadda's house. From JP Nadda's house, Amit Shah is jumping to his own house. Then Modi goes to Amit Shah's house. They're only showing visuals like they're shuttling between two houses, but there is no action on the border, Dr. Swami. What can India effectively do to gain the confidence, or at least among the people, to bring the confidence among the people that India is ready to do something?
Somebody says Adani's port is in Kerala. That's why.
Yeah, Virginian port. That's what he went for inauguration of Virginian port. He went to the Virginian port inauguration.
That is even worse. So,
one last thing, Dr. Swami, coming back to this issue, as you said, the only way to solve this, I mean, because Pakistan is just doing by trying to bleed us by 1,000 cuts. The only way we do that is you break them up into 4 pieces completely, and then because then they're going to be busy amongst themselves. Instead, we are just allowing this nonsense to perpetuate, because world over, Pakistan is begging for money. They have absolutely nothing to keep them running. Their biggest export is opium. So other than that, nothing's happening. And India, when Modi came back, he had to take a route around Pakistan because he couldn't fly, or other flights are now slowly, Pakistan is closing their airspace. These idiots. I mean, now India, after Pakistan closed, India say, oh, we will also close. And the tit for tat, what Modi has done, the biggest action Modi has taken, banned YouTube channels, banned some actresses coming to India and do something here, and some alto things like this. He's just banned, and that's it. This is the retaliation is India doing. Is this how? It is an insult to the Indian armed forces, who are more than prepared and ready to take on this rogue government or country called Pakistan. But the Modi is just tying their hands to their back, hands and legs to their back, and say, take action. How is this even possible, Doctor? So, I mean, I am very surprised that the armed forces have even kept their restraint, phenomenal respect to them, in spite of all of this, because they've also lost 1 or 2 people amongst themselves.
Yes.
I am pretty sure that the armed forces must be like ready to, they would have given Modi 10,000 options, as Modi doing Tanda only on memes. We could have just leave this chance, and this has not happened the first time, Doctor. So, I mean, you brought this among China. When China occupied, the one chance that army got, they thrashed the Chinese back. Can't Modi learn a lesson from there? All it needs is just let loose. Let the army take care of it. Let the armed forces of India and say, Modi can say, okay, you do what you want. I'm giving you 24 hours. I'm going to turn a blind eye. I'll be flying to America. By the time I fly from here to America, do something. Something or the other. Instead, this man is flying all over the globe, all over the country, doing some tanda or some drama bazi. The incompetence level is so high, and I don't understand why the people are not even reacting to this, because even the media is completely sold out. They have not asked a single question, Dr. Swami. What can be done?
Media, their throats are in the hands of Modi, because he says all the advertisements I'll pull out if you don't abide by what I give you as for what you can publish. And they're doing it like that. That's a sad thing. I mean, they have agreed to be slaves of Mr. Modi. And this is happening. But fortunately, we still have these private bodies which are putting out stories, and that is adding a lot of information. I would like to say that, you see, when Modi took the first oath as Prime Minister, before that, a team sneaked in from Pakistan, from Baluchistan, and went to Modi and told him that we are all ready to create an independent Baluchistan if you will help us. He, in his speech, if you look at his first speech, he makes a reference to that. So in effect, he gave them a clean chit. After that, nothing. And they all have been butchered. What kind of a thing is it? People come here and trust you, and then you go and say yes to them, and after they have gone, and after somebody, or maybe somebody has threatened him, so the Prime Minister has betrayed them. So if that is so, he can betray Indians also. He can betray anybody. We can't. This country cannot be allowed to allow other Genghis Khans to come here and play havoc with India. We have had enough of that history. We will not go allow that history to again come by, no matter what the cost is.
Arvind, you're unmute, sir.
Thank you,
Dr.
thank you,
Swami, I
Dr.
have a
Swami.
question. Like they just talked about the intelligence failure. That is, central government agencies are there in Kashmir. But in Kashmir, we have elected government. We have Umar Abdullah's government in Kashmir. Umar Abdullah's Kashmir's total economy thrives on the tourist inflow. And for last few years, there has been improvement in the tourist incoming to Kashmir, and the income of the state going up. It was going to increase in day by day. Don't you think it is also Umar Abdullah's failure to protect the tourists, spot where there are no state forces found?
How can he do anything? It is not his government is not the usual government you see in other states. It's still most of the important things like defense and all, military, police. These are all, especially the special military police, those who carry guns and so on. They are all in the hands of the Home Ministry. And they don't keep Umar Abdullah, abreast of whatever is happening and what he can do and what we will do for them. None of that. There's no kind of. Amit Shah still goes like a bacha to Kashmir, and for him, Abdullah is nobody except the probably having some restaurant or something like that instead of a government. That kind of an attitude is there, you see. Now, I don't blame Abdullah at all for this, because he wouldn't have known. Nobody would have reported it to him that there's no police there and there are tourists coming. Nobody has told him anything, nor has the government been able to identify anything that he didn't do, that is Umar Abdullah didn't do. So let us not blame him. The blame goes squarely to the Central Party, which is still largely in control of Kashmir.
I think Arvind Chaturvedi, I think Jammu and Kashmir is a union territory, and the police is under the central government.
Yes.
2 minutes, forget about military, army, navy, air force, which is always with the central government. But if my recollection is correct, like you are in Delhi, your Delhi police doesn't report to the chief minister. it reports to the Central Home Ministry, or vice versa. And then that's why it's a union territory under a lieutenant governor and a chief minister. So anyway, if Farooq Abdullah's son, that is Omar Abdullah, is guilty, you hang him. But same time, the primary responsibility is with the Prime Minister and the Home Minister.
Yes.
You cannot
Yes.
escape from that responsibility.
Yes, of course, of course, of course. Dr. Swami, one more question I have about the RAW. We have this
Yes.
intelligence agency called RAW. If the Pakistan has been harassing India for several years continuously by terrorist activities, why can't RAW organize the counter-terrorist activities in Pakistan and do similar acts in Pakistan to teach them a lesson?
They need the permission of the Prime Minister for that. They cannot do it themselves. That
Yeah.
is our system. We don't allow, agencies to have free hand to do what they like. We give them a policy and they implement that policy.
Dr. Swami, with this delay by
Yes.
Modi,
Yes.
haven't you not given Pakistan to regroup whatever resources they have? If we had attacked immediately, Pakistan would have found it very difficult to recoup their, because they have very limited resources. You attack those resources, so they'll have even less resources. You gave them enough. There are reports coming in that they're moving away all their newer assets away from the border because they don't want them to be attacked. Isn't this again a serious, failure in a leadership, saying that you attack immediately? Isn't that a big giveaway, Dr. Swami, that you waited for so long? Now Pakistan is now saying, oh, we know what Modi is doing. They are all afraid. So they went to the world and saying, we didn't do anything. Modi is just trying to provoke a war. This advantage that you had as soon as the attack happened has given Pakistan a legitimacy, saying that they are not a part of it, which is absolutely wrong.
So, what I would say is that you are perfectly right to say that we have not done our duty there. But you see, it's in the RAW and all. These are all people who are part of the civil service. I mean, the administrative service, and being there, they will not be entitled to take on themselves these initiatives. They have to get clearances, and I have been told that it has been a very difficult task for them to get clearances on a number of things which would have affected China, would have affected Pakistan, and the government didn't allow it. In my own case, when I managed to find out that China had taken over such a large number of our territory, and I said it in Parliament, what do you think Modi said? कोई आया नहीं, कोई गया नहीं, लोगों को ऐसे ही सपना होते रहती है. And it turned out later to be true, and we went and made an agreement where we have allowed the Chinese to take all the territory they wanted. So, and that is not published. It's not given to Parliament. It is not given to anybody. You see, so in this kind of a situation, I don't think you should blame anyone. You can blame later on by going into whether they went by their book, by their official books, which are given there on what to do and what not to do. But those are later matters. The real matter is the man who should give the command. Go ahead, do it, and report to me, and I want the whole thing done in 3 days. None of it came. All we see is him sitting around a round table with a lot of people and looking quite bored and about to fall asleep. That's how the impression comes. And I'm sure that Pakistanis are getting more strength only by looking at that, and not by the fact that we have not yet hit them.
I just wanted to make one point that the army recruitment was halted by this
Yes.
current government for 3 years. So our
Yes.
forces also have been reduced by 1 lakh almost.
That's right.
And secondly, the budget of the military has also, defense budget has been reduced like from 2.41% of 2016 to now 1.89%. in 2024-25. So
That's right.
most of the countries have higher budgets for defense. Ours is the only country which we only keep 1.89% of the GDP as budget for defense.
And it was not allowed to be discussed in Parliament, just for your information.
Yes.
So nobody even raised it in Parliament.
Yeah, and I don't expect the opposition to do anything, Dr. Swami. It's just, as you, everybody is threatened to not to take any words, raise any against this government. Nobody, but for you, is raising a voice. The abject surrender of the media when this terror attack happened, they were just screaming and yelling. A typical response by Indian media, and otherwise, or just tom-tomming, or just about the government saying that Tanda hoga, up Tanda hoga, something big is happening, something big is happening. Nothing big is happening so far. Only all these media hype has gone beyond control, Dr. I mean, it's just shameful that as of today, as Arvindji put, Arvindji is about 15 days now since the attack.
Yeah, 12 days.
Around 2 weeks, no response.
Yeah.
Absolute shocking, Doctor. So absolutely shocking. And one small response to the people who say, "Oh, this is a complex thing. They have to pros and cons. The India's economy will get impacted." You should be shameful to even say such things, Doctor. So many people who say these things on Twitter, saying we should be very careful. Your economy is more important than defending your country. Then you don't deserve to be a citizen of the country, Doctor. So seriously, because you first of all don't trust your armed forces. You should be ashamed for that first. Number one. And two, you feel your economy and your money in the bank is more important than the defense of the country. You should be ashamed of that, Dr. Swami, because I've seen these comments a lot on Twitter. So I just want to address that. And the third, what happens in the world? That's exactly what Modi thought. How will my name get destroyed if I attack them? If you have this kind of a cowardice attitude, no wonder the leader is also a coward. The leader is a coward and the people are also cowards. Don't trust. People should just stay away, because the armed forces are ashamed to see you like this, because they have the ability to go and attack and they've done it not just once, multiple times. It is just stupid, absolutely cowardice to not done. We should have attacked immediately, as this comment says. Yes, and I've been saying this from day one. We should have attacked immediately.
I think we had a lot of discussion. I think it's time now for Arvind to wind up.
Yeah, sure. One thing I want to underline, the purpose of this terrorist attack. The modus operandi was to identify the Hindus from the crowd. Identify by whichever means, by asking kalma padho, kalma पढ़ के नहीं, उसका पैंट उतार के भी देखा गया लोगों का. But the terrorists had one thing in mind. They only wanted to kill the male members, not the female members. They were families. They separated women from the men and only killed the man. And they wanted to create a Hindu-Muslim hatred by identifying Hindus. But one good thing which has happened is almost all top Muslim leaders have condemned this act of terror, including Owaisi, and Jammu and Kashmir Assembly also passed a resolution condemning this. All people in one voice, Hindus and Muslims, have condemned this. This is a good sign. And the design of Pakistan terrorists, which were to create a Hindu-Muslim divide, this has been failed completely. And this is a good sign shown by our people. And of course, Dr. Swami has been advocating this, that Pakistan should be broken into four. He has not said today in the light of Pahalgam massacre, but he also said this earlier several times. But the government of India, for whatever reasons, different prime ministers, after Kargil war, nothing has happened to the Pakistan. I was reading a book by Kuldeep Nair about his life, and in which book he has described till 2010, under Vajpayee government and also under Manmohan Singh government, there were attempts to have the backdoor compromise on Kashmir. Some formula was to be devised and all that. So government of India, irrespective of who is the prime minister, which party is in power, they have always chickened out as on this issue of taking action on Pakistan. But अब पानी जो है सर से ऊपर चला जा चुका है. गर्दन से ऊपर पानी हो चुका है, अब एक्शन की बारी है. डॉक्टर स्वामी, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर रिमाइंडिंग दिस गवर्नमेंट दैट टाइम हैज रन आउट एंड वी मस्ट एक्ट. Better late than never. Our Air Force is ready, our Navy is ready, our Army is ready, and we all know that our services are competent enough to finish Pakistan in 3 days. People say जितना वार होगा उतना हमारे इकोनॉमी पर असर पड़ेगा. It is not a Russia-Ukraine war. It is a India-Pakistan war. We can finish Pakistan in 3 days like this. And therefore, people who are advocating for peace, they should be aware that it is not going to cost much on the economy, and therefore we must survive with pride and we must take an action. Thank you, Ramesh Swami. Thank you, Jagdish ji. Thanks the technical team led by Ashish Shetty, Swaminathan, Tejas Navalgul, Gadgi Rakesh, Ishwar Iyer, Ajesh Nair, and Gurudat Shetty. This issue is very, very important and timely. We are discussing. Hope that something will happen in next 2-3 days. We have been waiting for last 12 days. We will certainly wait for some more time. Better late than never, but we must take an action. And we are all with Government of India whenever they take an action. Thank you very much for joining this program. We will be back next Sunday again, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time with a new topic and Dr. Subramanian Swami. Thank you for watching Words of Wisdom, Gyan Ganga. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind. Jai
Jai
Shri Ram.
Shri Ram.
जय